welcome to my English session. Today let's discuss 6th standard, first chapter, Down the Rabbit Hole by Lewis Carroll. In the introduction part only we have discussed so many things, so let's continue further. We all know Down the Rabbit Hole is by Lewis Carroll and also it is an extract from Alice Adventures in Wonderland. This book has got so many chapters and each and every chapter is so much interesting, and it will present a dream-like situation for all the readers. Coming to the character section, the main characters are Alice, Rabbit, Queen of Hearts, Tweedledee, Tweedledum, Cheshire Cat, Mock Turtle and many more. But here in our chapter Down the Rabbit Hole, we are dealing only with Alice and Rabbit. So, we'll continue with the lesson. Let's get ready with the text and all. I'll read the text for you and afterwards paragraph by paragraph I am going to explain.
Down the Rabbit Hole by Lewis Carroll. There was nothing so remarkable about the White Rabbit saying, oh dear, I shall be too late," and hurrying on. But when Alice, who was sitting beneath a tree with her sister and feeling bored, saw the rabbit take a watch out of its waistcoat pocket and look at it, it flashed across her mind that she had never before seen a rabbit with either a waistcoat pocket or a watch to take out of it. Burning with curiosity, she ran across the field after it and was just in time to see it pop down a large rabbit hole under the hedge.
Coming to the summary of the first paragraph, it was a Sunday. Alice was very much bored. So she visits a park nearby with her sister. And her sister has promised her that she will play with her in the park. But as soon as they reach the park, she decides to read a book. And she starts reading the book. And Alice was quite unhappy and she was bored. During that time, she sees something over there. A white rabbit wearing a waistcoat and holding a pocket watch, and he was going somewhere. And that too, he was speaking also. And it was telling, oh dear, I shall be too late. He was saying like this and he was hurrying somewhere. In a very urgent, he was going somewhere. So, in the beginning, Alice does not feel it a remarkable thing. It's a usual thing only, she thought. Then, immediately something flashes in her mind. That rabbit is not the usual one, not the common one. It looked different. Why it looked different? Because it was wearing a waistcoat and it was holding a pocket watch and it was speaking also. So, she was burst into curiosity. She wanted to know more about that rabbit and immediately within no time she also follows the rabbit. The rabbit moves towards the bushes over there and there was a rabbit hole there and it pops down into that rabbit hole. Pop down meant move quickly into. It jumps into that rabbit hole. Alice, who was following the rabbit, she also, without thinking of the next moment, how she can come out of that rabbit hole and all the other things, she doesn't consider, she doesn't think also, she also pops down into that hole. Let's go to the next paragraph.
In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again. She fell slowly through that seemed like a bottomless tunnel, but finally landed on a heap of sticks and dry leaves.
As Alice pops down into the rabbit hole, in the beginning, she falls slowly and slowly. And she thinks it was bottomless. What is meant by bottomless? For example, take a bottle over here. And this one is the bottom. As Alice pops down into the rabbit hole, she thinks that this is bottomless only. She falls, falls and falls and finally lands on the heap of small dried sticks and leaves. Slowly and slowly, Alice falls down this rabbit hole and finally she lands on the heap of dried leaves and sticks. And here, see the wonder here, and she is not hurt at all. Immediately she gets up, she jumps and she wanted to follow the rabbit.
Alice was not a bit hurt, but she jumped up onto her feet in a moment. She looked up, but it was all dark overhead. Before her was another long passage, and the white rabbit was still inside, hurrying down it. There was not a moment to be lost. Away went Alice like the wind and was just in time to hear it say as it turned a corner, "Oh, my ears and whiskers, how late it's getting!" She was close behind it when she turned the corner, but the rabbit was no longer to be seen. She found herself in a long, low hall which was lit up by a row of lamps hanging from the roof.
As Alice stood up, she looks around everywhere and there was darkness above her and there was a narrow passage in front of her and the rabbit was in her sight only. And that means she can see the rabbit over there. Still he was going. And he was telling, "Oh, my ears and whiskers." Means it's an expression similar to "oh my God." We'll also use the expression "oh my God" no. When there is a lot of work to do and when we are in trouble, we'll use that expression no. Here the rabbit is using, instead of "oh my God," it is saying "oh my ears and whiskers." And he was hurrying somewhere. He's moving fast. Alice, within no time, she also follows the rabbit in the speed of the wind. Means as fast as she could, she also follows the rabbit. And there was a corner over there. The rabbit moves through that corner. Alice also follows the rabbit. But as soon as she also enters the corner, she could not find the rabbit at all. Somewhere it has gone. But where she is now? She is in a long hall with so many doors around her. And the room was lit up by the hanging lamps. You can see in the picture. Alice once goes round that room and each and every door was locked. She was wondering. She comes to the middle of the room and she is wondering, what next? What I have to do now? How should I come out of this situation? Where did the rabbit go? Everything is running in her mind. That we'll check it out in the next paragraph.
There were doors all around her, but they were all locked. After trying all the doors, Alice walked sadly down the middle, wondering how she was ever to get out again. Suddenly, she came upon a little three-legged table made of solid glass. There was nothing on it but a tiny golden key, and Alice's first idea was that this might belong to one of the doors of the hall. But alas, either the locks were too large or the key was too small. But at any rate, it would not open any of them. However, on the second time round, she came upon a low curtain she had not noticed before, and behind it was a little door about 15 inches high. She tried the little golden key in the lock, and to her great delight, it fitted.
Alice was standing in the middle of the hall, wondering what to do next. But suddenly from nowhere she'll see a three-legged solid glass table over there. In the beginning, as she entered the room or the hall, there was no table. But immediately there will be a table, glass table over there, and there was a key, a golden small key over it. So this is the thing about the adventurous stories. From nowhere something will come. From nowhere something will happen. That will happen in the adventurous stories and fantasy stories. Here Alice is a three-legged glass table over there and with a golden key on it. Alice was very happy. She takes that key and she thinks that that key may fit any one of the doors and she can go through it. But she goes through one round, but none of the doors were opened. She was little bit unhappy, but she'll not give up. For the second time, she moves round the hall. Then surprisingly, she'll notices a small curtain over there, and she slides that curtain, and there she sees a small door over there. And for her surprise and for her luck, that small key fitted into that door, fitted into that lock, so that she was able to open the door. Was she able to open the door, and what all the things she is going to see through that door? Will she be able to go through that small door? To know all those things, we'll check out in the next part of our lesson. Thank you, children.